Hello and Happy New Year, and welcome to another video. If you're new here, consider subscribing, as I've got plenty more content to come on this channel over the next sort of 12 months. And yes, as the title suggests, I have a new vehicle on the channel. Now it replaces another vehicle which I had previously, but unfortunately I was involved in a crash, and yeah, I want to cover that topic off in a separate video. Because I think it'd be quite interesting for people who have not been in crashes or have been in crashes, who can sort of share, you know, some knowledge and experience of the whole event, and yeah, everything that happens over. Anyway, yes, as the title suggests, I have bought a Volvo XC90. This one being the R design, just slightly rarer. You know, there's not that many on the road, and yeah, they're just a bit more sought after because they're a bit more high spec. But I'll cover the specs shortly of what that entails. Yes, and it is, or was at the time, the cheapest R design on the market. So I paid just under £3 for this one, which if you were to compare it to what the current market is, they're about 5.5 onwards in the UK. I don't know what they are in other countries where you live, but yes, so it was an absolute bargain in my eyes. Double checked everything, and yeah, it all checked out fine. So without further ado, I'm going to stop rambling on, talking rubbish. So, main features of the R design: 19-inch alloy wheels, fake chrome or chrome alloy, whatever you want to call it, mirrors. However, they're not very chromy at the moment. They're more crummy. But anyway, yes, these are color-coded rear arch wheel extenders. They are color-coded on the R design, not on normal vehicles. You get an R design badge here, which I've removed because I just didn't like it and it was faded and just looked a bit tatty. I'm thinking of spraying the grille surround in black, probably like a matte black. Yeah. Other features of the R design: you get these skid plates underneath, and on the back, just I guess added, I don't know, features that kind of a bit pointless because it's not really a proper off-road vehicle. It's more of a, you know, it's just meant to look like it is, but it's not. Anyway, let's jump inside. Inside, lovely dual tone leather, which I don't know if the camera does justice, but I can put some overlays over the top. Yes, lovely, actually worn but not massively worn. It's got that really nice, like almost like patina distress type. Yeah, very nice, very comfortable. R design, you get a memory electrically adjusted seat, but only on the driver's side. Only on the one above, which I think executive, you get both drivers and front passenger. Sat nav as well as standard, which I don't know if I can show you guys. I'm sure I can work it out. Sat nav, which is actually here. If I could turn it on, it should, he says, come up. Will it though? Great. Also on the R design, you get these lovely dials, which are, yeah, really nice. As you can see, the reason why it was cheaper than average is the mileage. It's done nearly 230,000 miles, which is pretty much double what all the other R designs had. But yeah, interior wise, you know, all nice, full of cubby holes, aluminium finish. It's been really well looked after considering its age. You know, the car is sort of 12 years old now, and you know, it doesn't look like it. Oh, actually 13 years old as of this year. But yeah, another feature of the R design, the quad exhaust exits, which I absolutely love, and I kind of wanted almost regardless, basically. This is also color coded as well to the rest of the car. But yeah, these quad tips for me just made it. It's adds a sporty touch, but it's not sporty. But you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? It's just, why would you not want quad exit exhaust? You know. Yeah, pointless, but yeah, I like it. In the back, as you can see, there's room for 7. Obviously I've got 4 children's car seats in here at the moment, 2 here, 2 at the back. Middle one's not really used, but very cool, nice feature, which I don't know if you can see on camera here. It is actually a bus. It's you can use it as a child seat. So if it's got this nice cool feature, you pull a handle here, push it up, and you've got yourself a child seat, or an older child, you know, 7 onwards or something like that. But yeah, still a very cool, nice, quirky design from Volvo. I like that. DVD players in the back of the seats, again a really nice feature on this particular R design, and they work. Comes with wireless headsets like this one, so you can watch your favorite program like Frozen. Sorry, wrong one. Yeah, you can watch all your favorite programs. At the back, as you can see, it's been well used at the moment, but yes, like I said, there's car seats at the back here. One there, one there. So it is a 7-seater, although I kind of use it as a 6-seater and usually put the middle seat down. Just to give a bit more room, I guess. But yeah, very comfortably 6, you know, I wouldn't say 6 adults, but easily 4 adults and 2 children in the back. Yeah, and swallows up everything else. It's quite a decent boot still, even though it's got, you know, some of the stuff used up. This comes up as well, which you can use like a bit of a bench when you're sat here. So yeah, another nice little feature from Volvo. Again, the dual tailgate I like, which is handy access. You can just go and grab your things, close it, off you go. And last but not least, the bonus feature, the thing which made me buy the car instantly, which I believe is on most XC90s, by the way, is the phone. Look at that. How cool do you feel right now? That is so 80s, it's absolutely insane. It's got like a volume button on the side there. Basically you can put a SIM card in and use it as a phone. But you know, you can twiddle it whilst you're talking about your day. No idea, but yeah, just for me that was just the selling point. So yes, that's a quick shot tour. If there's anything else you would like to know, please put something in the comments down below. I think we should now go for a drive, don't you? What's it like to drive? Well, being the R design, the reason I went for the R design is because it has stiffer chassis, different dampers, different anti-roll bars. It's meant to be that bit more dynamic, I guess, in terms of, you know, drivability, and you know, it just looks slightly better than a standard one, I guess. I just wanted it to stand out a bit more than, you know, most XC90s. So let's talk about some of the figures to do with the engine first. So horsepower, well, that's very easy to remember because it's the same as the amount of children I have, 182. And then the torque, the sheer amount of torque this has for, you know, okay, it's not a small engine, but it's still impressive. It's 400 Newton meters of torque, which means you can pretty much in any gear put your foot down and it just pulls away. Now, there is a subject to that, and the main reason is, so if you're in gear, absolutely fine, works, you know, really well, it's very drivable. However, when you're not in a particular gear as such, so if you're at a roundabout and you're about to pull out, I found that the auto box is very sluggish, it's very lazy, and I kind of find it it's quite a bit dangerous actually, on those first few gears when you're sort of pulling away. But other than that, I haven't really got any major complaints. The engine itself is actually really nice. So obviously it's a 5-cylinder diesel engine, but when you put your foot down, when you drop it down gear, it's got a really nice sort of racy growl. I'll see if I can show you. So if I put it into manual mode, which you can, like a sequential basically. Don't get me wrong, it's not, you know, the most, let's drop it down the gear. And again, listen to this. Look at that, it's very impressive, isn't it? It's actually more Audi Quattro than my classic Audi, which I still have, by the way. You know, 5-pot, all-wheel drive, what's not to like? And it sounds pretty good as well. Yeah, fuel economy is not great, I would say. So it's a 2.2 ton vehicle at the end of the day, and you know, trying to slug that around, it's not going to be great anyway. I wasn't expecting amazing, you know, fuel economy. Not a huge problem for me because I don't really do a lot of miles anyway. But yeah, average is about 30. It says about 34 online, but you'll never get anywhere near that figure. Mine's about between 25 and 30, depending on what sort of driving sort of styles and roads and things I do. One of the other, I guess, issues I have got with this particular car is the turning circle. The turning circle is that of a barge on the Suez Canal. I mean, it's absolutely awful. You know, you find yourself doing like a 4-point turn where you'd normally do it in either 1 or a 2-point in most cars. Saying that though, Volvo quote that this car drives like a car and not like an SUV or a truck, and it does. It genuinely does. Just when you're stopping or when you're trying to turn around, it definitely doesn't, that's for sure. The seats and the comfortness of the whole vehicle is amazing, and Volvo is obviously well known for that. You know, it's like sitting in a DFS showroom basically. It's so comfy. These front seats as well are heated, which in the winter is absolutely lovely. So nice, and you just sit in comfort, and it's just such a nice place to sit. One of the other features as well is obviously, I spoke about it before, but it's obviously all-wheel drive, so it's all-weather. You know, okay, I'm not going to say performance, but you can drive it in all-weather. You don't have to worry about anything, which is perfect for me, and as a you know, safe family vehicle, I guess. And as a daily driver, it's perfect. It's exactly what I want. It's something I can drive every day, jump in, all weather, go to the shops, work, wherever. It doesn't really matter. Don't really worry about it. One of the other, I guess, one of the bugbears I have found from driving it is the sat-nav. Now, I don't get... okay, you know, don't get me wrong, 2010 is fairly old now. I wasn't expecting it to be state-of-the-art. What I don't understand is the actual angle of the sat-nav. So the sat-nav is angled in a way where you kind of have to be like this to see it, which doesn't really make any sense, and it's kind of as much use as a chocolate teapot in most cases, where you kind of have to like slope down like this, and then you're actually it's impacting your driving ability. So it's kind of, yeah, very odd one on that one. I don't really understand that. Very strange. I guess, yeah, I can touch upon the 0 to 60 time. Not that it's really relevant, because it's not a performance car. You know, it's not a. I guess this car came out at a time where, you know, you had the Audi Q7, the BMW X5, the Mercedes ML, and it's nowhere near as dynamic as any of those vehicles. You know, it'll still give you 0 to 60 in about 10 seconds roughly, but yeah. Like I said, it's not a performance vehicle, so don't expect it to be, you know, mind-bending, but, you know, it does the job. Now, the other thing, I guess, is the amount of buttons in here. I mean, it's very, you know, of the era, I guess, but Volvo have been particularly known for having lots of buttons. And I mean lots of buttons in the, you know, not the small sense. You know, there's about as much buttons in here as a 747, which is pretty crazy, really. But yeah, I guess they could have done away with some of the buttons, maybe. But nonetheless, I digress. So overall, I think it's a cracking, you know, it's a cracking proposal for a car, really, or, you know, SUV. They're fairly cheap, they're fairly reliable. Okay, the expenses can be a bit high. I mean, the 19-inch tyres are not cheap. You're talking about 120, 150 pounds each. So, you know, I guess if you are going to look to buy one of these, make sure you check the tyres are good, because that could be very costly. It costs you, in theory, you could add another £600 to the value of the car. We've also found out that the all-wheel drive system can play up, so make sure that you check that out on a loose surface to make sure that all 4 wheels are spinning. Yes, so anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new, as there's going to be plenty more content this year. I am very keen to film lots of things at a good variety. Got a couple of things lined up, just it's going to be about timing, you know, with kids and things like that, and family, different things, different priorities, different times, so bear that in mind. But yes, hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you soon for the next one. Cheers, bye.